Good morning, Nuggets. It's your favorite TT from Divine Me 1111 Spiritual Guidance. I send you all love and blessings right now. I'm not sure if this is going to be a TT Talks or if I'm going to get into the general message, but I'm just going to go where I'm led. Of course, I know you all know that the energy is quite heavy at the moment. Um, but there is what I'm feeling is a shift. Um, my apologies. Thank you all so much for your likes, shares, comments, and subscribes. I appreciate it. Um, our channeled songs, and I'm really feeling these really heavy, and I do recommend that you all go and listen to them again. My apologies. I wished my friend a happy birthday. He's in Aries on the 10th, and the 10th is not his birthday. Today is his birthday. So happy birthday, sir. Um, which leads me to my first channel song, Friends by Whodini. Then we have Zoom by the Commodores, Speak to My Heart by Donnie McClurkin, and In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. So, um, there's been so much heaviness when it comes to um, people transitioning out of this realm into the next, and it looks like my sage has sparked itself back up again, so must be needed. Um, there was first um, the passing of DMX, Mr. Earl Simmons, and I send condolences to his family. I also send condolences to all of the um, the people who listened to his music and felt connected to him. For those who he inspired, um, we are in a place and space where we are judging the messenger over getting the message. Um, and then there's just been just ridiculous, senseless. You are witnessing me trying to detach and not um, absorb all of this heavy energy that I am feeling. It is very difficult for me not to do so because that is just how I am. I feel. Um, but yeah, it's getting to this place and space of um, where we devalue humanity. Not just no. No. We're not devaluing humanity. We are devaluing human beings um, because of one prejudice or another. Be that um, skin color, class, um, socioeconomic status, education, whatever. Instead of being mindful that this is another human being, instead of being mindful that just as I have a right to life, so do you. We're not recognizing that within each other. We're not recognizing. Not even divinity. It's not even about recognizing someone else's sovereignty. It is about recognizing the golden rule of treating other people how we wish to be treated, and giving what it is that we wish to receive, rather than being completely respectful of another being. We say, oh, well, you don't do this, so you don't make this money, so you don't look like this, so or you do this or that, and since I don't do it, you're wrong. Well, pot. When are you? Okay. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. That's one. That's one passage that I am. But since when is living your own life, especially when it is not you doing harm to someone else? Okay, let's get back. Let's go back a little bit. There was a post that spoke about DMX and his past and all of the troubled things that he did, as far as doing things such as robbing people and being a part of some, assaults or things in, his rap sheet. And because of his rap sheet, and this took me back a little bit, because this criticism of this man who inspired, who I call, street prophets and street preachers, which most of the time to me are doing more work than the ones that's, with the title of, we're not getting into that. This happened, this post was by a black man who, in my opinion, is very educated, very bright, but for him to say the things that he said, as far as DMX not being a civil servant or a civil rights leader or activist. A lot of the civil rights leaders and activists aren't doing the stuff that they... Anywho. And I likened that to how as we're going to see here, when a black man who has, done whatever he's done in his life passes away, no matter what it's from, what the cause is, the first thing is brought up to defame him and make him seem less as a human being, less of a person that also inspired and lived his life authentically, as as best he could. He didn't, he apologized to those he apologized to and for, and served his sentence or what have you for whatever it is that he did. But he also made sure that he enlightened people on his demons, unlike pastors and preachers who I'm gonna call it out, and it's not gonna be good. Pastors and preachers in my home city of Indianapolis, Indiana, doing things and presenting themselves in a way of perfection, and I'm going to call it what it is, Pharisee and Sadducee. And you are in these, you're just as human as your parishioners or people that you call yourself, being a leader to. But I'm going to give an example. I won't say the pastor, I won't say his name, but I will say that a few years ago, some colleagues and myself were at dinner, and this is a place that's busy. I mean, and it's on top of that. I believe it was like a Saturday, and so it was really, really busy, summertime, and the three of us are sitting, having our dinner, having our discussion, and this very prominent pastor happens to walk in. He and I guess his armor bearers, what have you, I'm not sure. But as he walked in, I turned and because everybody knows who this is, everyone knows, and especially in the black community, we know. And so we all turned to greet and say hello and whatnot. But before he came in fully into the restaurant, I turned and I noticed that his eyes were very, very glassed over. And as he came in, he surveyed the room to see just how many people were in the restaurant. I'm assuming this, but go with me here. How many people were in the restaurant that recognized him? And he was very polite and spoke, and he came to as many tables as there were people that recognized him. He stopped and spoke and said hello. However, I noticed the alcohol. Now, you grown, you do what you do. But you survey the room to see how many people in there know you. Then you speak, you go straight over to the bar, sit there for a few minutes, and then leave. Rather than presenting and putting on this face of perfection, there are these things that you need to also realize you are human. And I said all of that to say, you see people's humanity. Allow people to be human. These religions, I'm not going to say, whatever. These religions with these leaders who are human need the same grace that we all expect to get. So allow a person their humanity. For crying out loud, you don't want to be judged on everything you do. So why in the world would you judge someone who is going through their struggles, doing, life as we all are? However, there's stuff that's gone on in their past that, they still are trying to heal from and work through. But at the very same time, they are making sure they say, hey, don't follow my path. There is hope for you. I go through what I go through, but I still inspire you to not do as I'm doing, do better. This man was inspiring people to do better, yet you take from him. Just as goodness, the young man that was murdered, I'm going to mess up his name, but I want to say his name was oh goodness, and I should not have forgotten his name, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. He was murdered in front of his girlfriend or his fiance and his daughter, who was sitting in the back seat. He was very prominent in his community. The kids or what have you called him the Black Mr. Rogers. So he deserved to die right there in front of his family. I don't know about y'all, but this world is there is reckoning coming. I feel that there is reckoning coming, and it is not the looting and rioting that people think that it's going to be. Yes, that's going to happen. But this now has become to the point where I believe God is getting ready to step in, and it's going to be, what I'm seeing is like a backhand clearing away of this thinking of judgment when none of us sit high enough to judge anybody. So I wanted to get that out there. I think I needed to let that be expressed, but there's something that is more important coming in. It is the remembrance of the purpose, not how it came to be and what people are have been conditioned to use this entity and this being for, but the consciousness and the understanding of Jesus and Buddha and Muhammad, Kalima, all of those ascended beings that various of us know and follow and were brought into. This energy is going to come in, so it's such an awakening. It's going to be more of a mass awakening than how it's been lately, of the individuals coming into awareness. This is more so of I'm hearing like a paradigm shift, going from this, that's why it's been so heavy, this going from the heaviness and the weight of, it's more than misunderstanding, this heaviness of fear of the unknown, rather than embracing okay, that was the other song and I forgot to write it down. And that's what this is. I believe that's what this is going into, what this is doing. We're going from connections of friends and family, and truly getting tribes together, not this whole label thing, but truly getting your spiritual tribe and your people. And if you have, it's unfortunately it's not always going to be family, and that's okay. We all have our purpose, our place in space. But if there is one thing that I have learned from my dad's mother, Granny Diane, miss her deeply and I love her. what I learned from her is you create your own family, you create your own tribe. Love is everywhere. You can connect and not be blood and still be family. So that's part of what I think is happening in those of us, Zoom dreamers, those of us who believe that there is always hope, and we get out there, and whether we out there physically, boots to the ground, and to those of you who are, I appreciate you. I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. For those who are the thinkers, those who are raising their own vibration and the vibration of those around them by changing their mind and using whatever space and place that you have available to inspire and love on. And a lot of the times, especially when it's leadership or those who are called to any kind of position, it doesn't even matter if it's leadership, because we're all called. Some of us hear it, some of us do not. But thank you to those who change the frequency through your energetic contribution. Thank you. Labels and titles and things of that nature are really going to be done away with, in so much as we allow them to be, and we just function and do what it is that we're called to do, rather than needing someone else's approval of what that is. Okay? Speak to my heart, man. What more is there? Speak to my heart. Now, you don't have to be Christian to ask divine to speak to your heart and crack that bad boy open, so that you can, one, heal yourself, but two, be a help and a light and healing to others. Doesn't necessarily always have to be you physically, monetarily giving. A phone call, a text, a gesture of letting someone know that they are on your mind. For some, that is enough to get them through the next hour. Be mindful. I'm talking to myself too, because since I am so sensitive, I feel everything. I feel everybody's, who, it doesn't matter who I come into contact with, I feel their energy. I exchange, and working on being a little bit more observant instead of absorbent. Still something I'm working on. But asking for your heart to be spoken to, and this could be you with somebody else, with a person. Let's have a heart to heart without the getting upset, because when you get upset, you're not listening. You're thinking about your own reaction and your own response and your own reply. Listen. Just listen. Sometimes that's really all. That's really all you need, is somebody to listen. Works sometimes. And then with the last one in the air tonight, yeah, it's only now. Okay? There's only now. You only have now. Who knows what's going to happen within the next 3 to 5 minutes, the next second? Everything turns on a dime. So, okay, I guess that turned into a TT Talks. We'll get into a tarot message here in a little bit. Thank you all so much for joining me. I love you. I love you from my soul. And I send you all blessings and light. Take care.